Hi guys, good morning. So let's now look into what do we do with this information here on Padlet. Step number one, before you proceed doing your SAP assessment, make sure you have followed these guidelines here in order to install SAP 7.6. That's your first step. And this is excluding Mac users. Step number two, you have to make sure you download your Microsoft Word Assessment 1 material. And as well, together with it, make sure you have got a Microsoft Word that is blank as well, in order for you to take a screenshot for your assessment. So let's start with it. So this document here that I've attached in your Padlet, it's pretty much 18 pages. What are you required to understand, or what are you required to do for this assessment? You are required to create a product group, follow on with generating the forecast using SOP, and then you transfer this information to SCM. In order to do this, you have to use SAP software to proceed with it. So let's scroll down. Let me show you what we have got here. The objective of this module, we are creating, as I mentioned, a product group. And these two product groups that I've got, the first product is called Finished Bike. So that is where we label it as 0010. And if you're wondering what is this XXX, this XXX is given to you. This is the ID that's given to you to log in to your SAP. You'll be able to find this ID on your Padlet based on your details. So if you look into, take note of your username and password, this is the ID that I'm referring to. So for an example, Kaiwan, your SAP user is SCM 300. So the XXX, you got to replace with 300 throughout your assessment. So back to this page here. Two products you are looking into, Finished Bike and Reach Front. And Reach Front, we have labeled it as 0011. Please do not get this confused. And you're even given 12 months historical data that you will be inserting in your SAP portal later. As soon as you have inserted its 12 months, you're able to forecast what is it like for the next 12 months. So that is why we are doing this assessment in terms of generating a forecast for these two products. And if you look into your assessment, you'll be able to see that we're looking at two main areas. Number one is US, the plant. Plant is also known as factory. Plant 1 and plant 3. Plant 1 is US, plant 3 is Miami. You will eventually get to this page where you will understand what am I referring to. Let's get to page 5. If you look into my page 5, these are the steps that you got to follow on in order to create a product group. So let's be on our SAP. Let's start from scratch. As I mentioned before, you have to make sure that you have installed before you get to this page. So if you're not on this page yet, you got to stop this video and follow on with installation, and then you can proceed watching my video. So let's now get started for those who have installed. Double click the link. Your client for this assessment, it has to be 200. Your user, as based on my ID, I'm looking into my ID. I'm just going to have 347. And as this is my first time logging to this SAP portal, my password, again, back to your work documents, guys. Please make sure that you go to your Word document. You would see that VUSCM follow on with your ID. So mine will be VUSCM follow my ID as 347. I'll click enter. When you click on enter, it will request you to enter a new password. So here, you got to pick a simple 6 number that you could remember. Please don't complicate this process, as it's very simple and straightforward. I'm going to pick on my birthday. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to click on enter, and I should be able to proceed with the assessment. So this is the page that we are on. So as you look into the SAP menu as how we're going to proceed, SAP menu, logistics, production, SOP, product group, and create. It might take some time for you guys to be familiar with the system. But let's try the first bit. We go for logistics, as I mentioned before. We get to the term production. we'll get to SOP, we get to product group, and finally you create. You click on create. When you click on create, you should be on this page, create product group initial screen. Let's get back to our Microsoft Word. You got to copy down this information accordingly. Product group, it wants you to state as product group XXX. That will be 347 based on my ID. And the description of my product group is finished bike. So to simplify, copy pasting might be a better option, as you might get the correct spelling. And your plant will be XXX1. And how would I know that? It's right here, XXX1, and then we have got ST, and then you click enter. So that will be 3471, which is US. And I'm going to, when you see the search results that pops out when you type in, double click this, and then it gets them. It has searched the information, and my base unit is ST. Do not change on members, click on enter. You would be on this page. If you're on this page, once again, scroll down, and you'll be able to see the information. So these are the information that you got to insert. So once I've inserted all the information, you got to click on enter. Clicking enter, you get a box that appears. Not possible to convert from EA to ST. One will be set. So once again, you click enter, and you should be done here. So when you're done here, you are required to take a screenshot. Unfortunately, I'm recording, so I'm not able to show you the screenshot, but let me just give a try, see whether it works. Okay, it does not work because it's on recording mode. So you should be able to take a screenshot of this before we proceed. So once you have taken a screenshot of this, make sure you have got your Word document. I have a sample at the end here. So this is the Word document. So you have got your name on the top, your VU ID, what's the SAP ID that's given to you, and part 1, take a screenshot of what we have just completed. So insert the screenshot. I want it to be very clear. I need to see your ID here. 696 is the ID of this student here. All right, that is just a sample. So scroll back to the page where we are at. We were at page 6. Okay. So once you're done with this bit, guys, let's move on to second part. The second part, they would want you to take an image of product graphical view. So on the same page, click on product graphical view. And this is the second screenshot that you have to save on. This will be a second screenshot. Please make sure that it is saved in your Word document. Click on save. Click on the quit here, which is the red one, and then you click on save here. So which means the product group is created. You can see right at the bottom here, the product group is created. And now let's move on. The next step, which is you got to use the same transaction code. You have to, if you're going to scroll down a bit more further, you will see some information here. So this is done. Use the same transaction code and repeat for the product group in plant Miami. So we have done only for one, which is US. Now we're going to move on for 3. And where do we get that information? There wouldn't be any changes. You just have to make sure that you change your plant as 3. The rest sticks the same. So I'm going to go back again, product group, create, and I'm going to change here my product group as, if in case you couldn't recall, you can always scroll back to this page here, but just make sure you change your plant name. Okay, that's very important. So which means this product group, finish group. Okay. I'm going to type this in. I'm going to put product 347. There's no changes. This should be 3. And this will be ST. And you click on enter. Again, this information have to be inserted accordingly. So there shouldn't be any changes, just the plant will be changed. Okay, here. So we go back to this page here. And then this is 347. This will be 001, 347. Make sure there is dash accordingly next to each other. As I mentioned, 347 plant 3. As Miami, 3473. Okay, that's done. And this remains the same, 130, 170. Okay, and once you have completed this, you save it once again. And if you look into what's my step before I click on as enter, the same bit, and you got to take a screenshot of this graphical view for Product Miami. So what's graphical view? Is this graphical view? It's not. To get a graphical view, I need you to click on Product Group Graphic. So this will be your third screenshot. I hope you guys are clear. And once you are done with it, we have now created the product group for 2 products itself. One step further. Now we are moving on to the next step. Let's scroll down to make sure that you guys are following on this. So we have done so far 3 screenshots, guys. So we are on this page now, creating SOP plan for product group. This is where you will be entering the forecasting figures. This is what it was like for last 12 months. So we will be inserting all this in order to forecast for the future. So let's now be on the same page. So you have to be on page 10 to proceed. So step menu, logistic, production, SOP planning for product group, and we create. So this will be the steps. So let's now proceed from here. And in order for you to exit from here, what you do, the same thing, click on red and make sure you save this. So the product group is created. If you have not clicked on saving, yours is not being saved. Now that we are done here, we will go one step further, as I mentioned, creating SOP. Set menu, we follow until logistics, production, there's SOP. By this SOP now, you got to click on planning. And for product group, we create. So we have 347. The plan should be 3471. Make sure you are following. So we do with US first. And then we click on enter. So when you look into this version here, 347 plus 100 is 447. And now here you type in product group. (347), and then you click on enter. So you will be able to get to this page here. If you look into this pop-out default version, as you're on this page here, you will have to click on edit, create sales forecast. The screenshot that you see on my Microsoft Word might be different because today we are using something that's updated in our SAP 7.6. It's the same thing, but I want you to click on more. When you click on more, you'll be able to see edit. When you click on edit, you got to create sales plan. Creating sales plan, and as you know that we are forecasting. So this is where we should be on. This will be the pop-up window where it's very important for you to take note that you got to change on the forecast execution as we're looking into season trend models. Usually you can even pick automatic model selection. As this is an assessment, we will stick to season trend models in the forecast execution section. So can you see forecast execution? Please do not make any changes to this bit. And this is the profile is SAP. And what I want you to do now is click historical. Clicking on historical will tell you this pop-up box once again. Between this duration, all historical values are 0. And this is where you click on OK. Clicking OK, you got to insert all the correlation value that are given in your Microsoft Word. So this should be page 10. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see page 10, as all these figures are supposed to be copied paste. So I'm going to copy the first 6 first. And I'm going to paste it here to see whether it works. And once I'm done with the first 6, I'm going to scroll down. Okay, go back up again. Okay, 403. And I'm going to go back to the remaining ones. 490357. And then we have the remaining few more months to go, isn't it? This, okay. If you're wondering what's T, T refers to current month. What is the current month of it? So pretty much 12 months already been inserted. All these correlation values been inserted. As you look into what I've done, I copied and pasted, but make sure you scroll down to enter the values. At times, when you don't scroll down, it might overlap on the existing bit. So you might not even be aware why your graph looks weird later on. So scroll down and then you paste it. Or simpler way is just type it, and then make sure you scroll down accordingly. And once you're done with all these, what's your next step? Your next step will be, there's 2 options. You can either click on graphic and I'll show you a sample. But if you look into the steps, we'll follow based on the steps. Based on steps, if you look into it, is we will click on graphics. Okay, to give you an overview. How does this graphic looks like? This is a historical graphic here. If you look into it, historical overview. So all the historical overview is given to you. And then if you look into my table here, there's adopt. There is page right, there's page left. So if in case you missed out, not sure where you're at, click back again to your graphics here. So you're able to see those information. So this will be adopt, page right, page left, you're able to see. And then you should be able to return back to the main page. And now, let's now click on forecasting, because as we have not forecasted, so inserting these figures, forecasting, and you got to change your periods per season. It got to be 4. It got to be 4 as the value, as we are looking into trend and seasonal components. So click on 4 and then click on forecasting. So that allows you to get to this page. As you could see, no forecast error message exists. Once again, click on the interactive graphics. And now you look into the difference of the previous and now. So this is the forecast, guys. The one to your right that is highlighted in red is the forecast for the next 12 months. The previous one is the historical. So if you're on this page now, you can click on enter and it gets back to the main page. But let's give some, sometimes it might take some time to load. So just bear on the page for a bit. So back on this page and you got to click on OK. And this should be saved. Plan saved under version number 447. So this is based on the version that we have got. So this ends your assessment. So in order to complete your task, what do you have to submit today? That will be your Word document. Again, back to your assessment. So if you recall all the screenshots, so that should be only 3 screenshots that you'll be focusing on to submit in your VU Collaborate. So I've got a sample at the bottom here to make sure you're clear. Sample 1, the first part of it, displaying for US product group. And sample 2 will be the graphic, how it looks like for your first product, which is US. And the second one is for your Miami. So this is where we end the assessment. So thank you very much and hope this clarifies your queries, especially for this assessment 1. Wishing you all good luck. And if you've got any issues, please reach me out within the next few hours. Thank you.